welcome back to the Fearless Love Forum. My name is David W. Stock, and today I have with me an aura therapist, seminar leader, and author, Mark Arnold. Mark, thanks for coming.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you today. I'm Mark Arnold, an aura therapist and medium working from Europe, Switzerland. And I'm here today to talk about aura and what's going on in our energy field.
So, Mark, can you just kind of expand on that a little bit? Let's just start by talking about what aura therapy actually is.
Okay, so every human or animal has something like an energy field. And in this energy field, everything is mirrored, like our beliefs, our programs, everything that's going on in our mind, also our emotions are mirrored in this energy field. And what we can do with therapy, we can manipulate or release some informations in this energy field. And then what happened? The blockages or our trauma, our fears will disappear in our minds because it's not longer in our energy field, in our aura. So that's the short term.
I think most people probably aren't really aware that they're walking around with, emitting energy all day long.
Yeah, the most people are not aware, and we are the most people are something like bins. They collecting energies from other persons, like their emotions or their bad feelings, their thoughts, their bad thoughts, or just their stories. They repeat it all over again, and they are manifesting these things in life because everything started first with energy and then it goes over to materia. And when we start to tell us always the same story, we start to believe it and manifesting it all the time. And what we do in with aura therapy, we start to release that you didn't tell yourself all the time the same story. So and how we do that? We do that with chakra clearing, we do that with energy body clearing, and we also do that with consciousness work. So when we start to listen to ourselves and start, oh, I am so fearful and in thoughts, and I'm disconnected to my emotions, to my heart center. I'm always in my mind and try to calculate and analyzing everything, then the world will just be turn into a bad thing because it's not the right way to look at things. We have to look through our heart. And when we can't look through our hearts, we have traumas, we have fears, we have troubles in life. And what happened with aura therapy, we can release that things very quickly. And what is good about we work with energy, and when you work with energy, you didn't have to tell your whole story about, oh, this is going on in my life, and this is what's going on with my husband, and my mother said this, and my boss has this opinion. We don't need all that knowledge because the only thing we need is to know our aura is a mirror, and we can just clean that mirror that we find back to our hearts. And when we find back to our hearts, then we can shine our inner light, our soul light, and we can manifest our soul plan thing while we come here to earth. This is how things work in my life. And when I never had that experience 10 years ago, when I started with this work, I would think so, Mark, what are you are telling things like, are you crazy? I made so much experience because in my biography, I was a victim of sexual abuse. And I released with that aura therapy all my dramas and all my traumas. That's why I want to bring that to more people and show them how they can do this by their own. My heart mission really is to bring that knowledge to everyone, because when everyone can control his own aura and know in his mind, oh, when I'm doing this, that this is affecting my aura, and then I get nervous, then I feel uncomfortable. And when we know how we can release that, then everyone is in his own power. And everyone is in his heart, and he's speaking about or looking through that hard quality to life. And when you're standing in your own power, there is no addiction to someone else, to your mother, to your friend, to your husband, whoever. It doesn't matter at this time because you feel yourself and you know what you need.
Yeah, that's a really great explanation. And I love talking about energy into matter. I don't think a lot of people really think of it that way. When someone is traumatized or when someone is just like, so there's a whole bunch of like kind of highly frantic emotions. Like it could be anger and frustration and all that sort of thing. And it could also be like anxiety and fear and stress and worry, all those things. And sometimes it's combinations of all those. We probably don't even have enough words to sort of describe all of the individual emotions that can come into a person's life. Is that like a sign or a symptom, or like what are the how do you perceive it?
So you can imagine how drama and trauma and other bad thoughts, beliefs, and bad blocked emotions are in our aura. Our aura getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And if an aura is more tight, it comes to more materialistic, or it turns into a material. And what happened is we haven't enough space to think or to come into another mindset. Like, let's make an example. I am full of fears. The fear doing a bad decision, fear from death or whatever. And I'm completely blocked in that special theme. And I gave myself in my aura not enough room. And when I haven't enough room, I can give myself other possibilities or options to go into another mindset. And what happened when we use aura therapy and we release all that traumas and dramas and thoughts and whatever, then this room from our aura getting bigger. So we said the field is expansion at the moment. And when you have more space in your own field, there are more possibilities to react. Maybe then I haven't to react, coming back to my example, then I haven't to react like, oh, I'm doing the wrong decision. Then I can see it maybe like, oh, it's not the wrong decision. It's just like it's an experience. And maybe I have to do that in my life to come to much more life quality, to come into a relationship or what else. And when we are always in in fears or in trauma, in drama, or whatever, then we haven't enough space to expand our consciousness because our energy is blocked. Our energy can go through that layers, through the aura. The energy can't go through the chakras, through all that different levels. So when we release these things, our field is expanding, and then we have much more possibilities to react to life and what life brings to us or what we are doing manifesting. And the good way is we haven't to talk about it. So what is? So we have to you have to bring me a theme, and then I start working with you. And it's not like this classical speaking therapy. Like you have to go there every week once or twice, and there's not a slowly development. So you come once or twice to myself, or you book an appointment for a session, and then what happened? The boost will start because your energy field is not longer that tight. It's going expanding. And what happened then? All the rest of your body and your mind will expand too. And then you can react to people, to your boss, to your wife, to your friends, family, whoever. You can react different. And then you didn't have to repeat the trauma over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's really good. We have a word that kind of describes that, I think. It's coherent. There's like the frantic energy is all over the place. I don't know if that's a good
Yeah, that's a good
if
thing. Then things start cohering and like synchronize.
right. So when somebody is like babbling, we say you're being incoherent. It means no one can understand you. It sort of just goes along with all that frantic energy. And coherence is just everything in alignment and everything calm. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. It started or alignment is a good word. After a session, the people or the feedback to the people is always, I feel so much alignment with myself. I feel calm. I have a clear mind. I can do right now decisions. And before the session, I can't do any decisions because I was always nervous and in a hurry. These
So,
are just a small thing, like it's
yeah.
working. I guess one of the best things what I really love is like I didn't have to trust someone. Is he doing a good job or not? What we're working with is we called it curb body intelligence, and we are doing something like these muscle tests. And we are looking like, oh, okay, is the body strong? That means yes. Or is the body not strong? That means no. And the good thing is, in with the aura, we can do the same. But we didn't need to touch someone. We can do the same in between thousands of miles of distance because we can connect every energy field to each other. And when we haven't connected our fields, then we are in that interference that you told about us.
Yep.
And then we are connected, and then I can do the test for you.
Wow,
And
that's
then
really
when these
amazing.
informations are released, so yeah, there are a lot of science in that space about how these energy fields works about. So yeah, maybe that's another interview, but let's stay at the fears. So do you have
Yeah.
any other questions?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think so the is it possible to influence someone else's aura? Like, or like, how do you do that?
So it's for me, it's not possible to influence another aura without their permission. So this is something like the aura therapy came from the spirits, and the spirits just block when I try to do something and they don't allow me. And this is always I always start a treatment with this test. I am allowed to work with, and when I'm allowed to work with, then I start working. And when I'm not allowed to work with, then it's not working. So that means I can't go to my bad neighbor or what else and working in her aura. That's manipulating things. And this is not how it works because we are always working with the frequency of love. And when we are working with this frequency of love, then there is no manipulation possible, or it's not possible to manipulate things.
What are some of the things that people can do on their own with this kind of work?
So a good thing is always when you met someone, maybe your boss or a work colleague or someone else, and you talk with them and they are talking about negative things, or they are just starting an argue with you. Then what you can do, and they people left and you feel bad after, you always can ask yourself, is this my energy or is it their energy? And when it's their energy, and the most of the time it is, then you just take your hands like that and come in front of your heart and push it away like this. And then set the intention. I bring you back to person or to my boss or whatever. I bring it back. And thank you. You leave it here, but I learned I didn't need that and send it back. So this is something very good what the people can do. And another thing they could do is like they can imagine like they are doing a shower, a light shower. So you just can imagine, okay, here's a shower, and then you can go with this light shower head over your head, over your complete body and chakra system. And don't forget the back. The people always forgot the back. And then you feel how it releases. That's something that people can do. Then something else that people can do is always sending the when they have emotions. So something came up. They always can look, okay, is it inside of me or is it outside of me? Feel like, and when it's not inside of me, then the most of the time it's something old from past incarnations. And then the people just can take it like this, taking through their field and throw it away. So it's that it's that simple for the beginners. It's that simple. And when you start this first experience, you're getting better and better, and then the techniques getting more complicated to release the big themes.
Yeah, yeah. That's really good. I love that first one because I work with boundaries a lot.
Mhm.
Not only with other people, but in my own life. Like boundaries are healthy boundaries are such an important part of any kind of relational interaction with anybody, with our intimate partners, but also with our friends, with our family, with our coworkers, and with the world in general. Having boundaries is what keeps the things coming in that we want to come in and the things staying out that we don't want
What?
in,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah, that's right.
so
I
there
completely agree with you.
there's so much noise in the world today, and it's social media and the news, and but it's also our relationships too, and all of our relationships. And so we need to have that ability. If you're relatively having a calm day and someone who has an enormous amount of anxiety at the moment comes into your life for just a couple of minutes and leaves their anxiety with you, then it kind of ruins your day, right? So it's really good to have that. I just give that back to you. I just,
Yeah, to
yeah,
give the
yeah,
energy back to them.
yeah. Thanks for letting me know about that, but I don't need it.
But I stay by myself. I feel my love. I feel I am loved from I am loved from inside, and I feel the abundance in my life, and then the rest doesn't matter when we can stay in that high frequency.
Yeah. So because there's kind of a pervasive sort of belief that trauma is permanent in our world. So people think that if you have trauma, you have trauma, like, for life. And it's really not true at all. It's interesting how much trauma and transformation are alike. They even almost sound the same with the TR. Trauma and transformation, it's the same thing. It changes you, but all you have to do is decide which kind of change do you want.
Yes, I'm completely agree with you. And another thing I observe here in Europe is the people are addicted to drama. They love everything dramatized. It started with the newspaper, it goes over to TV series, to movies. Their nerve system is always like, where's the next? Where's the next? And then the people, or it starts they start programming themselves about that, and they look through their glasses to their own relationships, and then they always looking like, this one is hurting me, um he is he's manipulating me, he's a bad guy, or whatever. And just the people how start to think about how can someone hurt your feelings when your feelings are started inside of you. I am
Yeah.
responsible for my feelings, for my reactions, and the only thing what helped me a lot is about to go always in that mirror in our energetic field and manipulate what I ask for, what I am allowed for, that things and life changes immediately when I therapy myself or when I coaching myself, whatever, or when I do this for other persons, because they start realizing, oh, my feelings are inside of me and not someone else wants to hurt me.
Yeah, that's really great. How do you find that healing trauma has an impact on the relationships that the person has?
So we have two mirrors in our life. In my life, they are two mirrors. One mirror is the aura, the first one, and the second mirror is our relations, because we are people always like mirror to us, because they said something and there is coming back a sign to our eyes or to our ears, and then it's going to our nerve system and gives it a meaning. And this is the programming. And this programming, this is trauma. And when we release that bad programming, the trauma, then we can start looking through other eyes to some persons. Then my husband or my girlfriend doesn't want to hurt me. She's not longer against me. Then I start to realize, oh, she's loving me. And then I can stay by myself. And when I can stay by myself, I feel, oh, that's happened inside of me. I have to change something. Okay. And what is easier to change something inside of me when I change something in the first mirror of my life, in the aura? And then the whole view to the person, to the relationship will change. And when we don't looking through the glasses of trauma, and we take the glasses of love and happiness, then everything will change in this relationship, because the other humans doesn't need to reflect the trauma we sent to them, and we look to them with love. And when we look to someone with love, then yeah, everything changes. It's like looking through a newborn baby. So it's like, this is just love, nothing else. And
Yeah,
when we start looking to our husband or girlfriend or whatever, or a good friend, then it's sometimes not love, because we are in these old stories. Sometimes they are past life stories, sometimes they are childhood stories, sometimes there are patterns from our parents, or from our teachers in the childhood. And this is all saved in our nervous system, and it's all everything is programmed. And what we do with our technique, we go into that mirror, we are changing the informations, we are changing the frequency of the energy, and the programming will change too.
yeah, that's excellent. Well, Mark, you've really opened my eyes up about aura therapy and what it's all about. I only knew a little bit about it, and now I feel like I know a lot more, and it's really an interesting field. So, how can people find you?
So I am available. I'm available on my homepage for Germans. It's markarnold.com, or down below in the description there is a link, and through an English part of my homepage. And there is something more written down about aura therapy and how it works. And there you can book a first meeting with me, and the first 15 minutes are for free. And we can talk about what's going on in your life, and maybe we will find out there is a match or there is no match.
Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here, Mark. I know it was quite a time change between where I'm at and where you're at, and we had to do a little bit to make the time work, but I'm so glad that you came and you shared so much with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity to bring aura therapy to the American or Canadian speaking world. Thank you.